This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 1 in every 5 children killed in traffic crashes in the U.S. was a pedestrian. That's why 3M is working alongside local governments and NGOs to help improve crosswalk visibility and traffic markings in school zones, in a worldwide initiative to provide kids with a safe walk to school and access to the education they deserve. To learn more and take action, visit 3m.com/schoolzonesafety. 3M Science. Applied to life.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. You know you can listen to us, this entire station, everything you want on the Odyssey app. Oh, yeah. Plus, you got those Odyssey exclusive stations that are curated for listeners just like you. Lots of stuff, man.
Yeah, for all of us. We all love a good power ballad. Yeah. So let's get those lighters in the air and listen to that very station so you can hear your favorite power ballads from the 80s. Home Sweet Home.
Oh, yeah.
And other stuff.
Oh, dude, I mean...
I like the Angels. Was that Slaughter? Whoa. Yeah. That's a going deep. That's a going deep, BJ.
That's a going a deep. Oh, yeah. You look, if you're watching Pam and Tommy on Hulu, I mean, who doesn't want to go back and get those 80s power ballads, man? Get it done. That's it, buddy. And also, that Odyssey app, pretty easy to download on your iPhone, on your Android. Just go get the Odyssey app today. AUDACY Odyssey.
Let's play Beat Mix. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Mix. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Mix. You're a loser. It is time for Beat Mix. And it's time to pump it up for Monday. Oh, yeah. Pump it up. Yeah, pump it up.
I mean, it's Monday, so get pumped up, and that's really all I got to say about that.
All right, well, I appreciate the pep talk.
Well, let's get to our contestant. We got Adam in Shelton. Adam, are you there?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Adam. All right, Steve, get out of here. Goodbye. For those playing at home, Adam will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Adam, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Animals with thick skin, especially an elephant, rhinoceros, or hippopotamus, are collectively known as what?
Pass.
What city is the capital of New Mexico?
Albuquerque.
No.
Pass.
Which country artist released the album Rope in the Wind in 1991?
Garth Brooks.
Yes. The first Jackass movie came out in what early 2000s year?
2000, 2001, 2002.
2002, yes. Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote which Pioneer-themed book series?
Little House on the Prairie.
Yes. Belly dancing originates from which North African country?
Zimbabwe.
No.
Nigeria.
No.
Pass.
James Spader voiced which robot in
Egypt.
Yes, James Spader voiced which robot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Pass.
Which NFL team drafted William the Refrigerator Perry in 1985?
The Bears.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct.
Not too bad, brother.
No, you
Not
got
too good either. It's just right down the middle.
Exactly. Yeah. The perfect analysis right there. You did. You did.
It's a 5-hole.
It's a 5-hole right there.
That's it, man. That's all right. Steve still, he's got to perform.
Steve, you have to perform.
It's not a gimme.
So yeah, you got to put a little work in on this.
Do I have to do it in a certain way, on one leg? How am I performing?
Wow.
Well, it's up to you on how you want to perform.
I choose sitting down.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, well,
it works for me too.
Conversation.
Are you ready?
Let's perform.
Animals with thick skin, especially an elephant, rhinoceros, or hippopotamus, are collectively known as what?
Oh, man, I know it. Endoskinner.
No.
Exoskeleton.
No.
Extrovert.
No.
I don't know.
You don't know. Which city is the capital of New Mexico?
Santa Fe.
Yes.
Hey.
Which country artist released the album Rope in the Wind in 1991?
I'm going to guess the birthday boy, Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
The first Jackass movie came out in what early 2000s year?
2001.
No.
2002.
Yes. Laura Ingalls Wilder wrote which Pioneer-themed book series?
Little House on the Prairie.
Yes. Belly dancing originates from which North African country?
Africa.
No.
I don't know. North Africa.
No.
North Africa City.
No. James Spader voiced which robot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Which robot in Marvel? Yeah. R2-D2.
No.
C-3PO.
No.
Wow.
You want to try one more just for fun?
No.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done performing.
1, 2, 3, 4. You performed badly. You lose. Woo! 5-4.
See, I told you it wasn't a gimme, Rev.
No, it was not.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Thank you so much.
I did so bad. I forgot I even got any right. I thought I went 0 for.
Oh, no, you got a couple right.
In my head, I was that last. I was like, man, I suck. Right.
Oh, that's so exciting. So great. Adam, you gave me this, and I will always be grateful, my friend.
Right. There's a way to get pumped up. Now, the deciding factor really comes down to the fact that you didn't get to one question that Adam did.
Yeah.
Which NFL team drafted William the Refrigerator Perry in 1985?
Chicago Bears.
Yep. So at least you would have tied if you would have got to it.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, exactly. Belly dancing originates from Egypt. Adam got that one correct.
I keep forgetting Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah, it's North Africa, yeah.
I know. I don't know why I put Egypt closer to somewhere. Well, I have it even further north, but I know it is still north. But yeah, whatever.
It's like somewhere in like Europe or something right next to Norway.
Yeah, I know. I do. I really feel like Egypt is in Europe for some reason. You're right, Rev. And it's like, yeah, okay.
One that I know you'll get BJ there. James Spader voiced which robot in the MCU?
Oh, the Age of Ultron, baby.
Yes, Ultron.
James Spader, man. I mean, I love the way he voices things. He just has this great way he delivers lines, and he's just so arrogant.
Exactly.
With the way,
yeah.
I just love that about him.
I was going to say everything he says sounds condescending, even if it's not.
And when he was Red in was it The Blacklist?
Yeah.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
Same deal. He was just so good as that character.
Does anybody know animals with thick skin, especially elephants, rhinoceroses, or hippopotamuses? What are they collectively known as?
I don't think I do.
Pachyderms.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Once you hear it, some people be like, yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Steve's just like, no.
I had it in my head that I knew it, and I clearly didn't.
I used to call people pachyderms back in the day, too.
You jerk.
Well, that's kind of that was kind of my calling. Well, because, I was trying to be a jerk. Yeah. I think Rev called it.
Because they're big.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. Yeah.
Well, it's because of their scaly skin, Rev. That's why.
Oh, that's even worse. Okay.
I think you have kind of a compliment. If someone has thick skin, you're a pachyderm.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? You try that on the next person you come across, Steve. Let us know how it works.
It probably won't go well, but I was trying to explain to a girl that we called Butterface why we called her Butterface.
Yeah, that never goes well.
That reminds me of the Seinfeld muffin top thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're just the best part of the muffin.
Because your face is smooth like butter.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's actually not bad, though. I'll have to, you know what? If I ever get caught in a Butterface situation, I am going to use that. Because, women do like having smooth skin.
It did work until then the person asked their friends, and then the friends told her the truth.
Yeah,
it all went downhill from there.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Oh, college.
Oh, college.
Well,
sorry for your loss on Beat Migs here. Gosh.
Yeah, sorry, Steve.
Thank you.
A new survey by YouTube TV where they asked people, hey, man, what do you think of your own life? Do you think it could be a sitcom? And 2 out of 3 people said yeah, because people think they're more interesting than they really are, by the way.
I mean, I think I could get a good, like, maybe I could cancel after the first season. It wouldn't be good enough to go more than one season.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're also an entertainer, so you know what it takes to actually what you have to do in order to be entertaining.
Danny's right. I'm a performer, not an entertainer.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That, yes.
Well, they don't call it the WWP.
Right.
That's well, something else entirely.
That would be a wet. Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind. But they also asked people, okay, fine, you all think you could be in a sitcom, great. And then they said, hey, what are your favorite shows of all time? And it's a list. And of course, again, it's YouTube TV, which, I don't know how many people actually have YouTube TV.
A lot of people.
Do they really?
I mean, from what I gather, it seems like a lot of people decided to go with the YouTube because whenever something changes, you just hear people complain. And so something like, I think there was something that happened recently where they were just like, I can't believe I'm getting rid of YouTube TV. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how many people had it. It was like,
oh, wow. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing,
I don't
man.
have it, though.
Yeah, I don't have it either because I have so many other things that I think that YouTube TV does. So that's like, I don't need anything you offer me. But I also
you enough of my money, YouTube.
Exactly. I thought I was going to get YouTube TV when I subscribed to like All In on YouTube, but I don't have YouTube TV. I just have everything else but that.
So you have the free no advertisements YouTube.
And YouTube Music goes along with
that. But you
that.
don't get the live television.
Right. I figured, you give me YouTube Music, why not give me YouTube TV? I thought I had everything YouTube. Apparently I don't.
They're like, why don't you give us more money? And we will.
I know. It's a funny thing when people want me to pay for stuff. I don't understand why. All right, so I'm not happy about this, only because one person on our show is going to be like, I told you it's the best show ever. I'm such a jerk.
The Neighborhood.
The Neighborhood being the best show out of the top 10 ever. Okay, I'm not saying The Neighborhood's a bad show, but really, of all shows all time, you're going to put The Neighborhood as the GOAT?
No. All right, No Ordinary Family. That one.
All right, now that makes more sense because we all know that is the Steve GOAT. A person on this show would agree with this.
Saved by the Bell.
Oh, that's not a bad guess.
Saved by the Bell is, look, I know that people love that show, but it's not the 10 best show ever.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Good call, Steve. Did not get in. I think I would think they're thinking of sitcoms, but no, there are other shows in here that are not that. But Breaking Bad should be on this list, Steve. You're right.
Yeah, Breaking Bad's not on the top 10 list of greatest shows. The list is bunk. If you ask me.
Yeah, and I take exception to number 3 only because of how badly the last season of this show was.
Lost.
You know
made
what?
It to the Lost? You made the last season for them?
I made it there.
Yeah. You know what, Steve? Some people would argue that Lost last season wasn't as bad as this major show's last season.
Oh, that's got to be Game of Thrones.
You are right, sir. Congratulations.
The last 2 seasons were hot trash on that one.
I can't disagree with you on that, Rev. They call that, the people voted this, that the third best show of all time, which I would have argued
people were obsessed with that show.
It was
until the last couple of seasons, though, Steve. It really was so bad.
It was so good until it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I bring up Lost, the first season especially, but the first 2 seasons were so awesome that it made it. I'm still willing to put it up as one of my all-time favorite shows, even though it didn't stay that great.
Like the cultural craziness that happened with Game of Thrones, you can't deny the popularity. It may not have ended well, but it was a great show. It made a lot of money, and everyone loved it. My mom loved it. Anybody and everyone was watching it.
But I would like to, I would like to see what, because to further Steve's point, Lost was on ABC. I would like to know who had more viewers. Was it Lost or Game of Thrones? Because Game of Thrones is an HBO show. So that would be a good question, Vic, to find out which was more popular. Because Steve's right. Lost was a phenomenon for a while. And then, of course, it just, it fell off the table at that last season.
Yeah. Even though I felt like the last season wasn't awful. It was like the season before that. It was when things were just kind of starting to fall apart.
Yeah, well, it got, eventually, here's the thing.
They ran out of stuff.
It was a normal show, but eventually it had to go into weirdness to explain what was going on. And a lot of people go, oh, is it one of these sci-fi crazy shows? I don't like sci-fi crazy shows. That's what Lost became. You know, and then eventually the explanation, then the explanation in the last season pissed everybody off, even the sci-fi crazy people. Vicky, I'm surprised you haven't popped in with the number one show because you're the.
I'm guessing because a lot of my generation, millennials, Gen Xers, and even like Gen Z are obsessed with this show. It's kind of everyone's loving it again as friends.
Yeah,
that's all I see like younger kids talking about for some reason.
And then people like me and Steve would go, you know what, Friends is nothing but a ripoff of this number two show.
Yeah. Seinfeld.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Seinfeld is the one that I did watch all the way through, rewatch every single episode. So,
and you said they held up for you really
for the most part. I mean, there's still terrible people doing terrible things, but once you realize that, you're fine with Costanza killing his wife.
Spoiler alert, man! Vicky hasn't finished it yet.
Oh, my bad.
But he did it in a clever way, though, Rev. So,
clever through being cheap. Okay,
yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to give him credit for that.
Where's How I Met Your Father on this list?
How I Met Your Father. Have you watched that yet?
Yes, we tried it.
And
like it? Oh boy, it's really bad. I mean, I don't know if it gets better. We made it an episode and a half. And my wife goes, I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I kind of am too. It's just,
I didn't have a lot of high hopes for that show.
But I saw some people say it's not that bad, and I'm like, I guess people's expectations were so low that as long as it exceeded those low expectations, it was passable.
Not that bad is not. You know me. I don't want to watch a show that's not that bad. I want better recommendations than that for a TV show for my brain.
Maybe it gets better as it goes along, but we didn't make it through the second episode.
Yeah, that is a tough one. I mean, if it ends up finding its legs, there are some shows that I quit on that people go, dude, you really should check it out.
Look at that Cat, Call Me Cat show. After the first episode, I'm like, I'm never watching this show again. Then we kept watching it for some stupid reason, but ended up, it's a pretty entertaining show. It just took a couple of episodes to get into it.
I gotta watch that. You said that multiple times, and look, we like Mayim Bialik. We thought her character on the Big Bang Theory was good, and my wife and I are always looking for shows. I gotta write that. Vicky, would you email me about Call Me Cat? Thank you very much. Of course, we told you Game of Thrones was number 3 of the best shows of all time. I am very surprised at number 4. This is according to YouTube TV and the survey they did. I'm kind of happy though, because I feel like this was really a good sitcom. Even though the time it came out, there were all sorts of amazing sitcoms that had come before it.
I know it. Small wonder.
Yeah, Vicky the Robot.
I do. It pains me to talk TV or movies with a certain gentleman named Steve in this room. No, Small Wonder is not the GOAT.
Well, it was lost in a sea of great sitcoms at that time.
It was.
Out of This World was also on around that time.
I was an Alf. I mean,
okay. I'm talking about sitcoms like All in the Family and Maude and Sanford and Son and the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and the Golden Girls was after Danny.
Yeah,
the Golden Girls was later. It was later because Maude is actually one of the Golden Girls, and she had a sitcom before Golden Girls.
Yeah, she was old before she was old.
Yeah. You're actually right. B. Arthur, when they said we're doing a show about an old lady and B. Arthur's in it, I'm like, she was in a show about an old lady. She should be dead by now. But no, she was in Golden Girls. I'm talking Three's Company. The old John Ritter, come on, knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
It's Suzanne Summers. Yeah, I'm happy.
Because of Full House.
And of course, John Ritter was a great actor, which you remember him, John Ritter from Bad Santa. He was the store manager who just was always awkward. But John did it while he was alive. Did a lot of great work.
He did that Teenage Daughter show.
Yeah, Simple Rules. Yeah,
Kaylee Cuoco's first show that I knew her from.
That was a good show.
That's when I fell in love with Kaylee Cuoco.
Well, Danny, you were the right age. You could do that. Yeah. I can't say stuff like that because I was way too old.
I've been weird, but just like me too.
Some people might argue with this, but it gets a Seattle nod. Frasier was voted the number 5 best show of all time.
Frasier's so overrated.
It was so boring.
Yeah, I like the show myself. I really did like the show, but I'm with Steve. It's overrated if you're talking about of all time.
But how does Frasier get in there and not Cheers?
See, I remember being so annoyed when I was younger. I was like, of all the characters, the least interesting character. I never liked Frasier on Cheers. He was okay. But how the hell? But I mean, they knew something that we didn't, Rev, because that show was massively successful.
And it was a great, I really liked it. I just feel like I'm with you. I think again, I'd put it maybe in the top 20, but I don't think I'd put it in the top 10.
See, I'd never watched enough because I was so mad that they, again, like Steve said, spun off with the most boring, uptight, pretentious piece of crap character.
Well, I'm with you, Rev, and that was the beauty of it, is that they did make a show. They found somebody to be even worse than him, which was his brother Niles, and so somehow, some way, they made Frasier actually a little bit more likable by getting an even worse person who was more uptight.
And the dad added a lot of comedy to it.
And Roz, who I really had a thing for Roz.
They had the hot English chick. So
that's how that wasn't Roz. Roz was the producer, but you're right. The hot English chick was good too.
Oh, we know way too much about a show that we didn't like, Rev.
Apparently,
yeah.
At least I got the names wrong.
The Office is on the list, and I think that deserves to be there. Number 6. Number 7 is MASH.
Oh, I loved MASH.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know if it holds up today, but for the 70s, MASH was an incredible show.
It
really, really was.
It does, and I tried to go back and rewatch it, and it's literally just about guys who get stuck into the draft, and they're just like, yeah, we're just doing this thing, and also we're going to bang as many chicks in Korea as possible.
Number 8, which I just
hated the theme song.
Oh, and they have a vocal version of the song, and it's
extra
really depressing.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man. Number 8 is very surprising, but I think that it's a great show. Don't know if I'd put it in the top 10, but I mean, okay. Battlestar Galactica. This is the newer one, not the old one from the 70s. With James Olmos. Was in it, and of course Katie Sackhoff, and those are the two people I can only think of right now.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Steve's already giggling.
Yeah, and I had a big fight with my friend who doesn't want to watch this show because he hated the 70s show so much, and I'm like, dude, but it's not even the same. It's a whole different show. The Simpsons at number 9, they deserve it, and then finally the show that everybody tells you to watch that you never will, The Wire. And
I've tried a couple times.
You've got to watch it. No.
A well-known musician just shared that he's going to get his very first tattoo this year, and he just turned 60 years old. You're going to hear from him 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at WeConsiderWA.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Well, as we found out in Beat Migs, today is Garth Brooks' birthday. He turned 60.
The big 6-0.
Yeah, man. I forget that he is in my demographic. It's crazy. And this year he says he plans on getting his first tattoo.
Woo! 60 years old. See, BJ, it's not too old to get a tattoo.
Yeah, right. I feel like, though, you're going to have to ask me for my 70th because I have no plans of getting one anytime in the future.
I wonder my first thought is get a tattoo says I'm Garth Brooks, mother effer.
Like across his chest or something?
Yeah, or, in like good block letters on the arm or something. I don't know.
No, Old English across his stomach, and it's just going to say, Brooks.
Yeah. Wow. Garth Brooks. Depending on how much he's been eating these days.
That's true.
Nice.
I don't know how big his stomach is. He looks like he's like, no, I guess just Brooks.
Brooks is good.
It seems like he's leaned out.
Oh, yeah. Isn't okay. I don't like the
Garth on the front and then Brooks on the back.
Oh, for the tramp stamp?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
That shows him wearing a Steelers jersey. I'm not happy about that.
Oh, dear.
Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, really. Sorry, you won't get any Seattle love for that show. Yeah, it's a Facebook show he does. It's called Inside Studio G, which, of course, G stands for Garth, I guess.
No.
I think I'm going to go on a limb.
So he's also wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates hat, it looks like. So
Well, then
is he a Pittsburgh guy?
He must be, right?
He came out of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know why, but I just wouldn't have guessed like this country music icon came from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's weird, I mean, that he's adopted both teams.
Yeah.
If he's, that's interesting. Well, maybe he just likes black and gold.
Or he just grew up liking one and then that led him to liking the other.
Yeah.
Could very well be. I mean, but the Pirates had some cool guys back in the day.
Yeah, he's just a big fan of Pittsburgh sports teams, apparently.
Because that's what made me, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but that's what made me become a fan of the Nets, because they were from New Jersey originally. And then, and being a Devils fan, I was like, oh, I like them because it's another New Jersey team.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. All right. Well, in his Facebook show, Inside Studio G, Garth, on a recent episode, shared that this is the year, finally, he's getting inked up. And I guess it's because he's fulfilling a promise that he made to his daughter, Allie, years ago.
I owe my baby a tattoo. I owe my youngest a tattoo, and I got to figure out what it's going to be. But it's got to be done this year in 2022. I'm thinking something small like a sleeve or something. But we're gonna see. It looks like we're going to start with the hands and the neck, the throat kind of thing. I got to pay. We decided on it years ago, and this is the year I have to pay it off. So we'll get her done.
I wonder. That's a very interesting, promise to make or want your father to do. I wonder, because it doesn't seem like there's anything significant that he's going to get done. So I wonder how that even came up, that his daughter's like, Dad, I want you to get a tattoo. All right, on my 60th birthday, I'll get a tattoo.
It's probably just one of those random conversations.
Yeah.
Unless she's inked up herself.
Well,
you know what I mean? If she's a fan of, like Steve, you continue to want me to get a tattoo, but it makes sense to me because, you love tattoos. And
I love seeing you in pain, so I just want to...
So two things that you love are going to happen in the same thing if it goes.
Two birds, one scone, right?
Yeah, that's it. So, who knows? It's very interesting because I'll be like, look, kid, I love you. I'll do anything I can for you, but there's no way I'm getting a tattoo unless there's something significant.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, what would, if your daughter, it's like, hey, I want you to get a tattoo. I'm thinking, Tatum can barely talk full sentences right now, but, I think if she had a choice, I'd probably end up with, a Peppa Pig tattoo on my back or something.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That to me right now would probably, actually it would be Frosty the Snowman. Yeah.
A Frosty the Snowman's tramp stamp is, I think, exactly what Tatum wants.
Why's it got to be a tramp stamp?
Because that's what Tatum wants. Rev, I didn't make this up. I heard Tatum say it. I know she's hard to understand, but I speak, baby.
How weird would that be if all of a sudden we're at somewhere, at a pool, at a radio convention like we tend to go to, and I take off my shirt, and I have a giant Frosty the Snowman tattoo that starts from my butt crack going all the way up.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Please?
Dude, actually, you'd be the hit. I mean, I think that would be that almost would make me want to get a tattoo if I saw that.
Yeah.
Because that's so ridiculously cool in my brain. Because it's not what you'd expect from a tattoo dude is to have Frosty in that area.
All right, Steve. The gauntlet's been laid down. You get that Frosty and BJ's going to get inked up.
Do I have to get a full giant? I'll get a Frosty tattoo on me. That actually would be kind of funny for
Look,
the story.
you described the scenario, and I said if I saw that scenario, that could make me want to get a tattoo. And by the way, I said could. You know what? Buyer beware. If you get this done, that doesn't guarantee that I'm going to get one.
You could do the whole thing because she's got a Frosty one, then she's just got a regular generic snowman that you got her. I think she's also big into Olaf right now too.
Oh, Olaf is he's become the new pimp of snowmen. No doubt about it. And he is.
Frosty's still the guy. He's the godfather.
Nah, you know what? I feel
the godfather.
Look, Frosty deserves respect, but I think Olaf's like the king snowman right now.
More like a prince, I feel.
Oh, wow. All right.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
I'm not sure.
Snowmen.
I know.
Yeah, right? We are. That's what we do, okay?
Well, triggers BJ, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, and now, you know what? Enough of all you people. Anyway, we're trying to do this is what we're trying to do.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
Hard to believe, by the way, if anybody was critiquing this show like a professional, they would go, how the hell did you get here? Well, it started with Garth Brooks, who's getting a tattoo for his 60th birthday.
Duh.
And, We want you to finish this sentence. This is the year that I'm going to finally do blank. What is something that you plan on doing that you have always wanted to do? Or what is something that you just did that you always wanted to do? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What's something you plan on doing that you've always wanted to do? Or something you recently did that you always wanted to do? Your calls, your texts after Nirvana on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Garth Brooks, who, is there a chance that people don't know who he is? He was a big country performer who, is really. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's got a Facebook show, and on his Facebook show, he said, hey, man, I'm going to get a tattoo for the first time in my life. He just turned 60, and it's a deal he made with his daughter, who Vicky found some pictures, and it looks like that she's heavily into tattoos, so it does mean something to her, and that's probably why she's wanting her dad to get one, too. And he promised her he would. And so we're wondering, okay, what is something, we want you to finish the sentence. This is the year that I'm finally going to do blank. What's something that you plan on doing you always wanted to do, or something that you recently did that you always wanted to do? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Dave in Olympia, you are on The Rock. Hello, David. Dave, there we are. What you got for us, buddy?
So, I feel like Steve might like this topic. I've always wanted to hold season tickets to a hockey team.
Oh, really? Are you originally from here, David?
So, no, I'm from Idaho. I moved up here in 2015. And I grew up going to Idaho Steelheads games there. But I moved here, was introduced to actually the Seattle Thunderbirds before the Kraken existed. And while I'm on the waiting list for the Kraken, I've decided to get season tickets to the Thunderbirds for me, my son, and my girlfriend. My son is 5 years old and has decided he wants to play hockey, so we've got him skating and everything. And, I mean, I take him to these games, and he knows everything to say. He can tell you what they're doing, and it's just amazing with being only 5 years old.
Does he know how to heckle the opposing team's goalie by yelling that they suck while chanting their last name?
So he'll hear, he might not know their name, but he'll chant at the Thunderbirds games, most of the time they chant Portland sucks.
Yes.
So what he'll do is he'll hear them chanting at the goalie, trying to get the goalie's attention, and he'll just yell whatever the team's name is, whether it's Portland, Prince George, Everett. And it's just insane.
That's funny.
That's a lot of fun. And so, look, season tickets are a lot more affordable for Thunderbird games, and the ShoWare Center is really cool. I mean, it's a good place to watch. The Thunderbirds really have a good thing going, man.
Yeah, they do. I believe right now they're number 4 in the U.S. division, or number 4 in the conference, actually.
Nice.
You should go to that big skills the skills competition thing they're going to be doing with the Kraken over at Climate Pledge. It's like $10 this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Why do I even say it?
Yeah, of course David knows. I would be. If he didn't know about this, I'd be like, wow.
It's kids like, Dad, we got to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
David, thanks for the call. That's well, how cool is that? That's a thing, man. I've wanted to be a season ticket holder for baseball, but oh man, I mean, it's a giant. I'm the kind of person that I would have to go to every game, or I think I'm getting robbed out of my money.
Yeah, man, I couldn't swing the season tickets. Just financially, it was just like you start doing the math, and then you get I think with the Kraken, you had to lock in for like 3 years, and then you're just really doing the math. And then if you lock in for more years than that, you can lower, it'll keep your price down over the course of time because you're going to inflate it over every year or every season. But I was just like, man, I was going to pick and choose the games that I want to go to and hope for the best.
Yeah. Look, man, if you got the time, you got the dough, it's great. No doubt about it. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We want you to fill in this blank. This is the year that I'm finally going to do blank.
Someone said, this is the year that I'm finally going to begin my adoption journey. I've always wanted to adopt, and I know that the perfect kitty is out there for me.
Aww. Oh, okay. I was about to praise you. I really was about to be excited about this text. Boy, you know what? That was really clickbait, Steve. I want you to know that really. Man, I felt good for a second. I mean, look, with all seriousness, adopting animals is great because there's a lot of animals that need homes, and rather than buying a new one, adoption is a cool way to go. So I do take my hat off here for that. Yeah, that's awesome. What's the name of those folks that do that we know?
Motley Zoo.
Yeah, Motley Zoo.
Great
They're
people.
Great people.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And they always name their dogs and cats after like rock stars.
Yeah. It's a great organization, and if Texter, by the way, I don't know if you've heard of Motley Zoo, but you ought to give them at least check them out. They're really, really cool people. Really, really cool people if you're thinking of adopting.
Someone said I've always wanted to meet a member of the show, and I got to do that yesterday.
Oh, really? Well, it wasn't me. At least I don't remember. If it was, this is really bad.
That'd be amazing. I was at Catapult in Puyallup picking up a friend's kid for my daughter's birthday party. As I look up at my phone, I see the legend himself coming from around the corner. That legend being Steve Miggs. Wow! I was nervous to say hello, but I did it anyways. Miggs, you're a wonderful human being. Great to meet you. Jake from Potsdam. Jake, it was awesome meeting you. Like I was telling my wife, I'm like, I text this guy all the time. Jake texts into the show a lot.
Yeah.
And to finally meet him was really cool. So I think I was probably more excited than Jake was. Because I kept talking to him. I'm like, dude, that was so awesome. I met Jake. And my wife's like, who's Jake? I'm like, oh, he texted the show a bunch. And she's like, oh, good. That's awesome.
That is cool, Steve, when you do meet a listener that you know, hey, I know this person because they communicate with us a lot, which we appreciate, and then you do finally meet them face to face.
When you put a face to the name, you're just like, I'm like, this is my daughter. She wanted to meet Tatum. And I'm like, he's probably like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Dude, we went to Catapult. I don't know if you guys...
I don't even know what this is.
So they basically took the old Safeway in Puyallup, they kind of down by where I live, and gutted it out and turned it into a giant bouncy house.
That's amazing.
Oh! It's just wall-to-wall bouncy house. And then up above, the second tier is like obstacle courses where you get hooked to a harness. Ooh. We didn't do that. Tatum wasn't tall enough, and my wife frowned upon me wanting to leave them to go do that. But, dude, it's like just pure chaos, though. Kids are flying around everywhere you look. Yeah. Like, I was just like... and they give you like these special socks to wear, so they're like grippy.
Oh yeah,
which are kind of cool because you get to keep them. So I held on. I'm going to wear those to work one day. But like giant ball pits, giant bouncy things.
Oh, wow.
But like I'm just walking around like. I'm like, this is just an MCL tear waiting to happen because kids are flying left and right. You're just bracing yourself. Like one kid just flew over Tatum, like straight up over like a motorcycle going over a cliff. And I'm watching, like, no, and cleared her, no problem. Tatum didn't even care. She thought it was hilarious. And the kid just bit it, like, right into the wall, but the wall is like is also like
that's probably good. It better be. I was just thinking the wall better be bouncy at this point.
Yeah, dude, it was.
That's a step up. I mean, I've seen it like you go to the malls and you see all these like Playlandy places, and and I'm like, wow, they didn't have these when I was growing up. But there's that the whole Safeway store that's stepping it up.
Imagine an entire supermarket being gutted out.
Oh, yeah, that's a giant space,
and it's just wall to wall bouncy castles, and adults can go too in there. I mean, we weren't going to just let our 2-year-old just go and wander off and not.
Oh, you don't do that? Oh, that's perfect. I think it's a perfect place to let her wander off.
And they got giant slides, man. It was nuts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks insane.
It feels like an accident waiting to happen for adults. Wow.
That's why you signed the waiver.
Exactly.
Is this? I don't know if you know. Maybe Vicky can look it up. Is this a chain that just opened their first location here?
It's got to be because Vicky's showing some video. I mean, unless I didn't see these parts of that Catapult, it feels like it might be a chain, but maybe not. It's called Catapult Adventure Park.
And they have these kind of things everywhere. I don't know about the exact name, but like the whole trampoline / play places are huge everywhere.
And it looks like Catapult Adventure Park has one in Fedway, Puyallup, and Lakewood. So they're South Sound.
Oh, is that it though? Is that or are they? I was thinking.
I thought quick search I did just showed those ones up. On the map.
So this is a regional situation
so far. Yeah.
So I said, dude, I deliver equipment to Catapult all the time. It looks pretty cool in there. It's pretty awesome. Although, like, the ball pit was terrifying because Tatum's in there, and then all you see is just her head, like she's, and then this other child just like dives over her, and I'm like, no, and of course, like everything's fine. It's like kids are pretty resilient anyway, but like, this is the first time where we've let her out, like, in a situation where just chaos is happening, and if I had hair, I'd lose it all, BJ.
Yeah, well, I can imagine, dude. Wow, man.
I feel like this is one of those places that are like just popping up everywhere, and in about 5 years, they're just going to be literally everywhere, because there's a couple in Florida, and there's even one in Puerto Rico.
Hey!
Well, if there's one in Puerto Rico, then they're going to be everywhere. If it goes in Puerto Rico, it can go anywhere. Okay, man? It's like New York. If you can make it in Puerto Rico, you can make it anywhere.
Hell yeah.
I know when we left, we're like, how do we, I don't have them. I wish we had enough money in our bank account where you could be like, look, I just want to rent this for 2 hours. No one but our friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
whoa, that's a big commitment right there.
Right. I can't imagine they were just printing money right now because there's just like a line out there. It was busy because it's a weekend. But how much fun would that be if you had like the run of that whole place for like you and like a dozen of your friends?
Be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not to worry about crazy kids
Pro tip,
getting in the way of your fun adult fun.
If you can, go like on a Tuesday at like 1, if they're open. I don't know if they are, but just like that's like the prime time to go because no one else is there.
Is that when the kids aren't there so the adults can have fun? Is that what you mean, Danny?
Yeah.
That's what Steve's looking for. The kids are really the annoyance right now for Steve.
These kids are getting in the way of my adult fun. Yeah, dude, like we were talking about that. We're like, next time, let's go during a weekday.
Nice.
Yeah, yes. The weekend, you got to be thinking that, everybody's like, here's an idea. And you're like, oh, boy.
Right, plus it's a Sunday where there's no football going on. So,
Oh, yeah, right. Get the kids out of the house.
Now, usually you have the greatest weather. Yesterday we had a good weather day. How was your weather day?
It was very nice.
Yeah. Good day to be inside, which is usually what I do. I'm always inside on good days.
Although once we were done, we went, like, when we got home, we all, like, we got to take a shower. Hey, you're just, like, jumping around.
I would imagine.
Germ pit, which my wife, of course, is like freaking. I didn't care about that part, but I was like pitting out hard.
I was gonna say, then you get sweaty.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good workout.
Next time I'm going there in like a tank top and board shorts. I don't care if it's the winter. Nice. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's going to be a great look. So I firmly believe that this next story is all in response to the fact that the big news that anyone's talking about in the world of rock and roll is Pam and Tommy Lee, the show, the Pam and Tommy show, which is why I believe that we're hearing about Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue just going on Twitter to take shots at Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam. I really believe it's because somebody else from Motley Crue might be getting attention, and Nikki's like, that can't be happening. So what did Nikki say taking shots at Eddie Vedder? I'll tell you at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another listener question. How do I rebuild my credit after filing bankruptcy?
You rebuild it, one creditor at a time by making your payments on time on your rent or your mortgage, by continuing to make car payments on a car that you keep during your case. You can also, as I said earlier, you can almost always get a credit card almost immediately after filing bankruptcy. Sometimes it's a secured card, and it'll almost always have a really high interest rate on it. But you could get a small balance credit card and charge a tank of gas or a dinner once a month on that and make the payment, pay it off every month, and that'll help you build a credit history one creditor at a time, and will help you rebuild your credit over time.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at WeConsiderWA.org.